Hello again, friends. rLounge here. We all have different stages we go through in life. It's not always possible to be mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually balanced and primed all the time. Sometimes life sneaks up on us, and it's okay to not be okay. Today, we hear people try to find their way. Am I the a-hole for being mad that someone revealed my pregnancy at a family gathering? My boyfriend Lucas, 33 male, and I, female 32, learned that I was pregnant 2 weeks ago. I am currently a little bit more than 1.5 months pregnant. We were not trying, and it was an accident, so we are a little lost. We are at a point in life where we considered the possibility of kids, but we never decided anything. Right now, the only people who know are some of our closest friends. I'm not going to lie, it has been some intense and stressful couple of weeks. Yesterday evening, we had a family gathering. It is my uncle's birthday this weekend, so he and his wife rented a big house. We all went yesterday night, and we were supposed to stay until tomorrow. It was also the opportunity to have all the family and close friends reunited together. Yesterday night, we all had dinner together. It was a buffet, so everyone was standing and talking. The real meal was supposed to be today at noon. Lucas and I thought it would be a way to take our mind off things. Keep in mind that at this point, nobody at this event knew. So yesterday, we were all catching up when my cousin came to introduce his new girlfriend, Anna, to us. I see my cousin often, so we only talked a little. After a while, however, Anna came back to us and did not leave me alone. She kept talking to me, cutting other people off and trying to make me drink to have fun. I told her that I was not a drinker, which is true, especially at family gatherings, and I tried to make her understand that I wanted to talk to other people. At one point, Lucas got fed up and went outside. She again tried to give me a drink, and this time when I told her no, she asked in a teasing manner if I was pregnant. I froze up, and before I could say something to her, she started telling me that she was happy for me. I told her that nobody knows, and her answer was, "OMG, this is such a good opportunity to tell your family." And then she made a toast and told everyone. Everything happened so quickly that I couldn't stop her. Everyone came to congratulate me, and I started getting overwhelmed and cried. My cousin went to get Lucas, who came for me, and we left to go to our rooms. A lot of people tried to follow us, but he explained that we needed some time. Later, he went out and told people that we didn't want everyone to know yet. They left us alone for the night. This morning we went for breakfast, and a lot of family members called me dramatic for leaving the night before. I tried to explain that Anna had no right to tell people and that we didn't want people to know. They got mad at us, saying that at one point or another they would have known, that I should not have kept it a secret and that I should be thankful for Anna so that we could all celebrate. We lost it and went home. My family kept calling and texting us. They said that we overreacted, that we spoiled the good news, and we ruined the weekend for everyone. Wow, I'm in shock. I'm so sorry that events rolled out the way they did. An unexpected situation like this is already difficult to navigate, not to mention the added stress that Anna caused. She had no right to do what she did, especially since she was just newly introduced. One could say that perhaps she was trying to impress the rest of the family, or perhaps it was nerves, or maybe she's just that type of person. However, most people often delay announcing a pregnancy at least until the end of the first trimester. This is commonly attributed to the risk of miscarriage during this time. Of course, this isn't a hard and fast rule, and it isn't necessarily the case every time. At the same time, most couples need time to digest such news and settle into the idea of what lies ahead of them, whether they expected the pregnancy or not. Life as you know it is about to change. You and your boyfriend have every right to be angry and upset. Pregnancy can be a very sensitive topic for some couples. At this point, Anna doesn't know anything about you or Lucas, and she should have respected your wishes and not pushed the subject of drinking, let alone announce something that wasn't any of her business in the first place. Have you ever dropped the ball and announced something you shouldn't have? We want to hear about it in the comments below. Update. So we have an update for our situation. First of all, we want to thank all of you. We didn't answer to the comments, but we read all of them, and it felt really great to have that much people supporting and encouraging us. It really made us feel better when we were in a bad place. Now for the original issue. Everything with our family was a huge mess and a big misunderstanding. To explain, we need a little bit of context. A few years ago, someone in our family made a pregnancy April Fool's joke. It went badly, especially for the close family members. The family dinner happened Friday, 1st of April. Apparently in my family, everyone's thought that our pregnancy announcement was a real elaborate April Fool's prank made by me, my boyfriend, my cousin, and Anna. When me and my boyfriend left to go to our room, they thought we were being dramatic to better sell the joke. They were quite angry at us for doing this kind of prank at such an important event, so they decided to try to teach us a lesson by being as obnoxious as possible regarding us and the pregnancy. They thought that everything we were saying was us being dramatic for the prank. It is when we finally left Saturday morning that they realized something was wrong. They asked my cousin and Anna what was happening and told them that the prank was going too far. I guess it's when they realized that everything was real. They tried to call us all day, but we had shut everything off. My father, who was no longer with my mom, so he wasn't at the weekend, came to our house to explain everything and give us an email that my family wrote. Long story short, they yelled at Anna and kicked her out. My cousin also immediately broke up with her. In the email, they explained that they were horrified by everything that happened and that they were really sorry. They told us that we should take all the time we needed away from them and that they hoped we could forgive them. They also all said that they were here to support and help us no matter what we decided to do with the pregnancy. Since then, we talked to a few of them and we saw my mom and my cousin. We still need time, but reading this email and talking to some of them really helped. We could see that they are sincere, not pressuring us in any way and ready to be here for us no matter what. It is not an ideal situation for Lucas and me, but it honestly made us feel closer. I don't know how to explain it, but it made us realize that we could really count and support on each other in a tough situation. As of right now, we are leaning on going forward with the pregnancy, so we really thank you for all your well wishes towards it. Despite the initial drama, it's so refreshing to hear that the truth was uncovered and your family apologized for misunderstanding and expressed their help and support. It's also interesting to hear that your cousin left Anna. Apparently, she was that kind of person, but he took that red flag and ran with it. At the same time, your family is absolutely right. You and Lucas are entitled to your space and time to discuss next steps and what this might mean for you both. I'm so happy to hear that despite it all, you and Lucas feel closer. This is fantastic news. No matter what you two decide, I know you will make the right decision, and your bond will only grow from here. I wish you both the best. No matter what, there are beautiful and bright things ahead for both of you. What are your thoughts on announcing pregnancies? What about gender reveals? Do you think families and friends have a right to know right away? Tell us where you stand. Our first reaction comes from Big Bang. Wow, that Anna, though, is an obnoxious piece of work. How dare she do what she did? I'm glad your cousin broke up with her. It's nice your family wrote you a letter and giving you time. Take it at your own pace, but soon maybe re-own the moment and do it over. Throw a happier celebration about the pregnancy that will wipe out the first memory. Our next reaction comes from Camp and Dan. Wild. I'm glad that they are not the obtuse people they appeared to be in the original post. Wishing you the best of luck mending this. Next up, a mama bird faces an empty nest as her baby uses their wings for the first time. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom that my sister was a better mother than her? I, 17, was born when my sister Ari was already 18. She stayed at home till I was 10 doing her university and masters. So my parents obviously spoiled me because I was the miracle boy. But I always remember it was Ari who taught me to be polite, chew with my mouth closed, how to clean even, be nice and all the stuff like that. It was so much better when she'd make food than my mom. I remember when I was 9, she and her boyfriend, husband now, took me to the park. Someone asked if I was her son and she said, close enough. And when I asked her later what she meant, she said I was their practice baby. But when she left and she's like stayed gone. I've seen her so few times since. Like there was her wedding, my other sister's wedding, and functions like that. Point is, in those 10 years, she kept me from being the spoiled brat my mom and dad were definitely turning me into. So even if she didn't want to see me in the last 7 years, I'm still grateful. So university applications are being filled out, and I want to do software engineering at Waterloo. My mom wants me to stay local. Yesterday, it turned into a big family Zoom meeting where Ari was involved. She said if staying with the family was an issue, her family was moving to Kitchener, and her husband heard, and he piped up saying he'd love it if I could stay with them. I thought that was cool because I'd finally get to see them again and meet my niece. But my mom said, no, you're not going. So I got really mad and asked why not. She said, you're going to need your mother when you start university. That made me angrier, and I said before Ari left, she was a better mom to me than you anyway. That didn't go well since my mom ran to her room to cry, so I couldn't see. My dad said I was being ungrateful, and my sister, not Ari, told me to stop being an a-hole. So, I don't know. Edit for anyone confused. Kitchener is a city right next to Waterloo. Update. So, I've gotten a lot of DMs. So I'm updating because people seem to be really worried. Pretty much when my mom came to my room to talk to me about what I said, I'd already decided I was going to apologize. You guys made it clear I needed to do that much. She asked if I meant what I said about Ari being a better mom than her, or if I just said it to hurt her. It is true I said it was because I was upset. She doesn't want me to go, so I just said that and apologized. We hugged and she said we'd talk about it later. What I said to my mom did work its way through my sisters. It went from Isla to Sarah, and from Sarah to Ari. I got a FaceTime from Ari where she reminded me she taught me it was wrong to lose my temper like that, but with Mom, she gets it. She seemed proud when I said I apologized. I wanted to say thanks for all she did for me, but it felt wrong over FaceTime. She did tell me she's planning on having the whole family over to her new house in Kitchener after they move for my niece's birthday. She made it clear if I get into Waterloo, I'm staying with her or coming over as much as I can. Now, here's where it gets wacky. My mom's cousin, who is like the head of that side of the family, found out what happened. He wasn't on the Zoom because he's really busy. He found out and scolded my mom and went on about how great a school Waterloo is and how selfishly she's holding me back and how she's trying to keep me as her baby forever. Isla eavesdropped on the whole thing and told me everything our uncle said to Mom. Honestly, it makes me wonder if things between Ari and me is what my mom and him. So my mom told me she was wrong about Waterloo and I had her support to stay with Ari. She told me her permission means I have to call her every night, text good morning every morning, no partying, no girlfriends, be a good uncle, and treat Ari with respect. And I got into Waterloo's engineering, and we went to Ari's new home for my niece's birthday party and spring break in March. I tried to tell Ari and her husband how I feel and how thankful I am for how Ari raised me, but I blubbered and couldn't say anything, and she just pulled me in and hugged me and kissed me on the forehead like nonstop for minutes while kind of crying. They gave me such a tight hug and said I'd always be their first son. My brother-in-law took me to Waterloo, and it's so cool. My niece's birthday party was also great. She's so cute. I told Ari I'd be willing to babysit, but she strictly told me my only priority would be my studies. When we left, Ari gave me a huge hug and said she couldn't wait for me to come. So thank you guys for all your support and advice. Because your sister was so much older than you, she, of course, had a valuable impact on raising you. Her age also meant that she was able to provide you with wisdom and lessons that were of a different perspective from your parents. Because parents are parents, most of the time, they're not meant to be our best friends. They are meant to be our guides and disciplinaries. As a result, inevitably, we automatically see our parents as stricter individuals. A lot of times, I think this type of opinion and the way we see our parents is due to a naive and innocent state of mind. That being said, the age gap also means that your sister was raised differently. As we get older, we learn new things and constantly change as individuals, which is the case with your parents. Your parents would have raised her the only way they knew how at the time. So, because of that, your sister would have taken what she had grown up to learn and passed that down to you. In the years after your sister left, her love for you never strayed, although it may have seemed like it from your perspective. She was just a busy woman creating a life for herself. It's so nice to see her support you in your dreams, including your education. The love she has for you is evident in her opening up her home to you during this very exploratory time in your life. You're moving on to a beautiful and fruitful stage, and your sister and her energy sounds like exactly what you need at this time. Your sister will be there for you, just as she always has. Your mother's initial opinion about Waterloo sounds like a case of empty nest syndrome. Since you are the miracle baby, you will undoubtedly always be her baby. That will never change. She deserved the communication that you offered her. It would have been easy to avoid responsibility in this case, but you did the right thing and apologized. Remember that your mother loves you, and she only tries to keep you close because of that. Sometimes parents try to smother us with love, not realizing that it only hurts us in the end. Be patient with your mother during this time as she watches her baby fly. Best of luck in your endeavors. You will do great things. Our first reaction comes from P the Puff. That's great that you are pursuing what you want and reconnecting with your sister, but your mother's demands are ridiculous. Coming from parents very similar, I'd advise you play along now, but start making boundaries when you go to college. Soon you will be an adult. You'll have a job and responsibilities that may not allow for constant communication with your mother. You may make meaningful and/or romantic connections with other people you'll want to pursue. That is all natural. Your parents won't handle it well, but as time goes on, it should get easier. I wish you the best. One more reaction from Jessica Believable. That is all well and good, but your mom's demands are still crazy. That's all for today, folks. Thank you for joining us at rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss our next video. As always, we value you. If you have feedback on today's content, please let us know in the comments below. We will see you soon.